This podcast is brought to you by Salt River Pictures.
Hi, Lloyd. A little slow tonight, isn't it?
Hello there.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Stay on target.
Dylan! Son of a bitch.
Welcome to the Salt River Movie Club.
Hello, and welcome back to the Salt River Movie Club, the movie podcast that is recording a little later at night than we usually do. And we'll probably be enjoying a few little drinky poos later on. So that'll be good to look forward to. Yes, late night with Salt River Shakedown. I almost called this magic trick there. It was late night with Salt River Shakedown. So yes, we are three members of the band Salt River Shakedown. We do blues rock, classic rock, that kind of thing. But this podcast is not about that band. This podcast is about movies we like, and sometimes movies that we not so like. Today we are doing a movie that I very, very much like, and I'm looking forward to watching it a little bit later. These two have not seen it, but we will get onto that in a little bit. First of all, I have to introduce my two other hosts. There's another co-hosts. That's the word I'm looking for.
Other hosts. Smooth. This is now the Jake show, is it?
Yes. Right, time to introduce them. So first of all, we have Alec McMillan. Right, Sean. I'm going to introduce you properly in a second, but Sean, you're gonna help me decide what kind of car Alec is. That's movies about cars.
Okay, so I don't know.
Choose wisely.
Alex, like I think Alec would be like a solid classic car.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm like a nice sleek design. I'm feeling Cadillac.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm good with
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
I feel like you would be a Cadillac.
I feel like all the guitars like I have are kind of very like car guitars. Do you know what I mean?
They are. Yeah.
Like they're very like muscle car guitars. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like my
totally,
big Gretsch and the Fret King is like, yeah.
Yeah, well,
I'm down with that.
It's our very own Cadillac, Alec McMillan. How are you, sir?
That is the best introduction ever. It's our very own Cadillac, Alec McMillan. That was so sweet. I'm good. How was yourself?
Nice. I'm all right. Good. It's also you could also be the Clash song, Brand New Cadillac. Which,
Cadillac.
Cadillac.
My brain.
Nice. Good. I'm glad you're good. Sean, well, over here we have bassist extraordinaire Sean Kilner. Yes. Alec, what kind of car is Sean?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Pontiac. I'm gonna go other muscle car.
Cool. Nice. Okay. You two have nice high opinions of each other.
We do. We fucking love ourselves. And now for Jake, Fiat Punto.
Fiat 500.
It's our very own Pontiac, I guess. Sean Kilner, how are you today?
What's up, friends? I was working today. I'm very tired.
Good. Well, that's
he's got a pointy fringe. So.
He does have pointy fringe, that's true. That's nice and swooshy.
It is actually very fluffy.
I am your host, Jake. I am a Ford Cortina. Good to meet you.
You are a Ford Cortina.
No, you can be. What kind of car would you be? You're like a kind of hipster car because you're. I don't know. It's the shirt. I don't know. Either a stoner car or a.
I'm wearing there's like a satanic symbol on my shirt. Like
I can't see it.
I think he should be some sort of like, I don't know. Jake's a practical guy. He's quite practical. I'm gonna go with
Range Rover.
Nah, that's too footballer's wife. I think some sort of like American Ford truck.
A Hummer.
You can not a Hummer, just like those like chunky trucks that are just like
a pickup, like
a pickup. Yeah,
like a soccer mom's car.
No, like a pickup. It's got the bit at the front and the long kind of open boot. You know what I mean?
You can chuck your front. It's got four wheels. It's got some windows in there.
You can chuck your drum kit in the back, strap it in. Do you know what I mean? Go to a gig, sorted. No bother.
Yeah,
you're a soccer mom's fucking car now.
I'll take that. I was willing to accept Ford Cortina. So
you don't get to choose.
They're not allowed.
That's fine. Yes, that's good. I love
What
that
an
we're coming across.
introduction that is.
No, like we're acting like car experts here. I don't think any of us know anything about cars.
I know my car knowledge is exclusively from like Top Gear and like you know those like shows on like
world.
You know those shows on like Dave that have like all the like American like relic kind of cars. You know that.
Oh yeah.
So
I
I like
think,
watching those programs like every now and then. So, but yeah, no, my car knowledge would be heavily outdone by Griff.
Yeah. He would destroy all of us.
He is the car guy in the band.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, if you haven't switched off after 6 minutes of car talk on this movie podcast, we will now move on to our next section, which is what have we been watching recently. Let's go over what we've been watching recently. I always come to Sean first on this. I'm coming to Alec first on this. Alec, what have you been watching recently?
Right. So on my birthday, I watched Monsters Inc.
Nice.
for the first time in a good wee while, and it still holds up amazing. And I cried at the end. So.
Nice. That is my favorite.
What more do you want? Greeted.
That's my favorite Pixar movie. So that's cool.
I was absolutely greeting at the end, man, with the door and all that, howling, pure howling.
Nice. That's good. You watch anything else? Or are you just having some tea?
I think that's the only movie I've watched. I attempted to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier last night, but I was too shattered, and I watched like 5 minutes and then decked it. So I decked it asleep. So I didn't give it enough justice. I was like, I'll try and watch this, and I just went. Not due to the show at all, just my sleep deprivation. Other than that, I've still been trudging through The Office, as you know, because I just want to go through it, 'cause it's so funny.
Nice.
It's so good. I was just watching the episode where Michael Scott and Andy Bernard jump on the bus to Mexico after Jim and Pam's baby's christening, and it's just howling, man. They like go in this. There's this bus of basically kind of like it's like a Christian group that are like going down to Mexico to help build a school, and Michael and they get all self-righteous and jump on this bus, and they get like 2 minutes down the road, and they end up shouting at the bus driver, "Stop the bus! Stop the bus!" It's so good. And the best bit is when they jump out, one of the people that's in the actual group jumps out as well, and he's like, don't tell my mom.
That's really funny. I like as well that Andy like Andy wouldn't have done it if Michael does it, and he's just trying to like impress his boss, so he just goes along with it.
One of my favourite sketches as well was at the start of an episode where it was, you know, the Megadeth sketch. It's like Jim turns up and like Dwight is just like put all the desks together, and he's became addicted to this thing he's called Megadesk, and he's got like the CCTV on, he's playing a game, and he's like doing sales at the same time and all that. It's like
holy shit.
He's like, I shouldn't have become attached to Megadesk, but it's like so serious. He steals that show, man.
Yeah, no, he is great.
Rainn Wilson.
Rainn Wilson is brilliant. Yeah, me and a colleague at work, Monty. Shout out to Monty if you're listening. I don't think you are.
Hi, Monty.
Hello. We built ourselves a mega desk in one of the cupboards, and it's fantastic. I miss it dearly.
Shout out to the mega desk.
and then it's the fact at the end of the episode, Jim like creates quad desk, and he stacks all the desks together, and he's like standing up with a headset, and he puts Dwight's desk right at the bottom. It's fucking brilliant.
It's a funny show.
Oh god.
Cool. Well then, Sean, what have you been watching?
I've watched one thing, and it took 4 hours of my life away.
Oh yes. Here we go. Yes. Here we go.
I watched the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, and
interesting.
I loved it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you about this because as of recording, I have not seen it yet. I am going to be watching it soon, but yes. How would you give me some thoughts? Spoiler free, because I've not seen either version.
I'm not going to spoil it.
You've not seen the original either.
No.
Oh wow, yeah.
No.
Well, you've saved yourself a bullet there, man. Good on you.
So
Fucking shocking, man. So bad.
I had this conversation with another friend actually, like which was better. Obviously, the Snyder Cut was better. Fight me.
Oh, I can, but without even watching the Snyder Cut, I know that it's probably better because you can only
already
get better
better.
from that. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
We had this discussion about if you're better to watch the original cut and then the Snyder Cut or just the Snyder Cut on its own. I honestly feel like you could skip the I think it's called the Whedon cut at this point.
Now, yeah.
So if you can totally just fucking disregard its existence and just watch the Snyder Cut because
Yeah, totally.
character development is so much better. The story makes more sense. A lot of the sort of really cringy humor that didn't land in the original cut is not. It's most of it got cut, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay.
But it's so much better.
See-
it's worth the 4 hours to watch, I would say.
See, me and Sean were out on a walk on Monday.
Monday, yeah.
Yeah, and like I was saying to him, like I was apprehensive to watch the Snyder Cut because like a part of me like what finds good about a movie is like the length of it as well and like the editing. So when it's like here's a 4 hour movie, it's a bit like right, could you know it just made it a good normal movie? Like why does it have to be 4 hours? Do you know what I mean? Like that instantly puts me or could you split it up into 2 movies or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why does it need to be 4 hours? Like fuck's sake.
It
I know.
doesn't feel like a 4 hour movie if that makes you feel any better.
Well on my watch, Sean.
I was talking to you guys while watching it, and I think there was a good like chunk where I just didn't say anything for about an hour.
Yeah.
It was so funny because like you messaged like, oh yeah, I'm watching it. You were like half an hour in, and I was like, cool. Like I want to know your thoughts on this. And then I went away. I went out for a walk. I came back. I made dinner. I watched something else, and then Sean was like, I'm 3 hours in. I was like, oh my god.
Why?
So
A chunk of
film.
time. It was worth it, by the way. It's honestly, it makes up for kind of like what DC having a really bad run.
Oh yeah,
It makes up for it in quite a big way. So I
They're
recommend
picking
it.
up. They are definitely picking up. The last few years, they had Aquaman, which a lot of people really liked. I have not seen Aquaman. They had Joker, obviously, but that's a much more
Oh, right.
standalone thing.
That's a
you know.
DC Black, yeah.
Yeah. And then they had Wonder Woman 1984, which is apparently awful, but I've not seen that either.
I haven't seen that.
Do you know what I mean though? Like why 4 hours?
See when you
It's
watch it, you will
that
understand.
Dude, it instantly puts me off because it's like right. The thing I didn't like about the first one wasn't even the shitey mustache CGI. It was like the story was pish and all. So like,
Yeah.
if it takes 4 hours to redeem that, it's a bit like off, man. Like,
I've got 2 points to make. One, the CGI isn't vastly improved. There are still bits where I was like, oh, that's really
Yeah.
sad. Second point is the story. It's not really. It doesn't really improve upon the story, but it does improve upon the characters, which I think is a big thing.
Like that's a lot of people say is that it's essentially the same story, but it's the better telling of that story.
That's the
you know?
thing. Like CGI can be bad for me, but it's still like be a great movie. Like so Black Panther, right, is one of my favorite Marvel movies. But that end fight scene looks like a PS1 game.
It's pretty bad.
It's so bad. It looks terrible, but it's fucking awesome though. Like there's no no like gradient or texture on either suit or anything. It literally just looks like 2 bots playing like
like 2 balloon men.
yeah. But it's class and you're invested because the whole thing is built up in the story and that's what matters at the end of the day. But
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm really looking forward to it. I like a long movie. I think that's the difference between us, Alec, because I
think
actually
there's
really
a
enjoy a long movie.
I think there's a fucking long movie and then there's 4 hours though.
I know, but I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. Like,
I can
at least
destroy
one
you.
of them
That's
is
like
way over
that's like
4
a
hours.
movie you go into the cinemas and after it you're like pure gasping for a shite. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Can I ask you, Alec? Can I ask you a question?
yes,
Did you enjoy Infinity War and Endgame?
I did, but they weren't 4 hours.
No, but I mean, to be
Endgame
fair,
was pretty fucking close.
there was a lot of talk with Endgame about the fact that it was 3 hours long, and like people saying like, "Oh, does it need to be that length?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
that movie feels like an hour and a half. Like it feels
Yeah.
like a brisk film, you know?
Yeah,
that's the same way with
and-
the Snyder Justice League.
and the
Not
thing
feel like
is,
4
the
hours.
thing is with Endgame, is served a purpose to finish a phase of 20 odd movies with development. Whereas like this is like their Avengers.
I know.
And it's like
I think
if I was going to see Avengers and they were like, oh, this movie's 4 hours long, I was like, I'm not going to see that movie anymore.
So apparently with some screening, like there's been a handful of screenings of it, like in actual cinemas around the world, and they've included an intermission at the 2 hour mark, which is interesting.
I was going to say, like, if it wasn't for the pandemic, do you think that it would have been 4 hours long?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think to some extent, like the fact that it is now being made for streaming services specifically they've given, like the whole thing with this is that they gave him total kind of creative freedom to make his vision of it, and I think to some extent it's possible the fact that it's now a streaming service movie has added to that. Like maybe he's been given even more freedom, like the fact that it's in 4:3. You know,
that is like so
stylistically.
Weird. It's so strange to watch that way.
What does 4:3 look like?
As in, it's not widescreen. He's done it in a box format.
It looks like that on my. There you go.
Why? Why?
So his reason for it is
why? No, I'm not watching that fish, man.
So I'm actually really forward to it. His reasoning was that like apparently a lot of, I don't know the exact sort of specifics behind this stuff, but apparently a lot of movies are shot like that, and then they basically have the top and bottom cut off. So
right, okay.
So like a lot of people kind of go in like, oh, you've just chopped off the sides. He's not chopped off the sides. This Snyder shots in the original Justice League had the top and bottom cut off. So you're actually getting the full image.
I did not notice that.
Yes.
I now think about that.
Yes. And I can see like there's a kind of grandness to this whole thing, and kind of like just Superman towering above people, and I think he wanted a more kind of vertical image, which I can get.
Sense. Okay.
That
does make sense because
the Snyder guy's a bit of a dickhead. It makes a fucking movie. Like movies feel cinematic and wide when they're wide. Like they feel huge when they're widescreen.
I can kind of counteract.
I'm not fucking watching it on my fridge. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna argue though. I would have agreed with you until I saw The Lighthouse, and The Lighthouse proves that can be used well, like really well.
But that's a period piece though. That's different.
Doesn't matter because they use that intentionally. They deliberately light that film so that at times it feels like it's kind of fading into darkness at the edges of the screen, and like it makes it feel kind of. There's a story reason. It's not just to make it feel like an old movie though.
Okay. See, just to reinforce your point, using the Justice League, there's an entire end sequence that is shot with big soups. And you can actually it does actually work really well being in 4:3. If it was in 69, it would feel really like squished.
I like when filmmakers play about with the ratio, like how on so Sean, you won't have known this, but in like the second season of The Mandalorian, there's bits where it changes from like the black lines to like, and it goes full screen for some sections, and it comes back.
Yes.
Which is like, you if you didn't think about it, you wouldn't notice it, but you like feel it. Do you know what I mean?
That's a very video game thing to do. A lot of video games do that.
Yeah, totally. So it's really good.
Absolutely.
So Mando does that really well in the second season.
Which we'll get to eventually.
10 years time. We're working our way through. We're working our way through.
Very slow.
Well, this ties into what I've been watching. Despite not liking Batman vs Superman very much, I am kind of rewatching some of the other DC stuff. I rewatched Wonder Woman the other night.
I really enjoyed Wonder Woman.
Yes, I really like it. I think it's really good.
I enjoyed it, but I cannot remember the plot.
it's from a story, like it's quite a standard superhero movie in a lot of ways. Like there's nothing that special about it. From a story point of view or anything like that. I just think it's really well done, and I think the chemistry between her and Chris Pine is really good.
The only thing I can remember about that movie is Chris Pine in like a fighter pilot leather jacket. That's about it.
yeah, he's good. There is some shockingly bad CGI in that movie though, which I know. I know a lot of people don't care about that, but it's pretty rough. But no, I really like that movie. I think it's really good. I'm going to watch Man of Steel. I think probably later tonight.
But Man of Steel is the best DC movie, man.
Man of Steel is banging. People are wrong about that film.
Totally. I've never understood the about that film. I've never understood it. See, when I watched that, because I went to see that in cinemas when it first came out, and I was like, that is fucking, like, I've never been a massive Superman fan, but that was like, that is fucking Superman. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's great.
Like
No,
a modern Superman that's actually like legit.
absolutely.
Like,
I think it's got some like a very identifiable problems. I think the final fight goes on for too long, and I think there's some writing choices with Jonathan Kent that don't really work. But other than that, I think it's a really good.
I do think Henry Cavill has been done a disjustice because he's great.
You could say it's an injustice.
Oh.
DC puns.
Wait. So I watched that. Let's talk about something not DC now. What else have I watched? I've been. It's kind of like I started a TV show. It's a DC TV show. I started watching Arrow recently.
Oh, you said
I have never given that a chance.
I watched the first few episodes of it when it first came out in 2010, something like that, and look. It's not very good. The writing is pretty shocking in places, and it's got a very kind of TV feel to it in places.
Yeah. I like that though. I like TV feel.
I gotta say, I'm having a blast.
It's the same.
I'm really enjoying it.
It's the same way that I love Lost. Like, it's terrible, but in the best way. Do you know what I mean? It's just like cheap. Sometimes a bit of cheap TV that's like you can just put on. Like, I forgot to say another thing I'm watching right now is Suits, and honestly, it is so good. Like, I know you said you had apprehensions about it, and you thought it didn't look very good, but it's actually so witty. Every joke lands, and it's so suspenseful. Do you know what I mean? It's it's got a really good grasp of comedy, and then all of a sudden you're cringing your life out because you're like, oh my god, why is this happening? It's almost like the opposite of Better Call Saul, where it's like Better Call Saul is like the pure bottom of the tier lawyer and just dealing. You know what I mean? And this is $1 million cases and making rich people richer and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's a nice difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of people are always surprised to hear about me is that I really love a courtroom drama, so it's something I should probably check out.
I know that you'd like it. It's really good. Cool. It's just so witty. It's so witty. It's nice. Yeah, it's good.
I should check that out. But yeah, no, I am enjoying Arrow for its cheesiness, and I don't know if I'll ever make it because that show started a whole TV universe with the Flash and Supergirl and all this stuff.
It's weird.
Flash is pretty alright. I've heard the Flash is pretty good. Who knows if I ever get to any of that stuff, but we'll see how it goes. Nice. So yes, have I watched anything else? Not really. I've been quite busy recently. Not watched much.
I have some movie news for you.
Oh, hello.
So the Resident Evil movie officially has a title and a release date.
every podcast.
Are you finished?
What's the title, Sean?
No, it's fine. We can just move past this now. We can move past this. I'll never bring it up ever again.
No.
I enjoy it. I love it.
Do you though?
Yes.
Got a title and a release date yesterday or the day before.
Nice.
As of filming this. It's going to be called Welcome to Raccoon City, and it's going to be released on the 3rd of September.
So, from what I've heard, it's basically going to be an adaptation of the first... Yes, it's going to be an adaptation of the first 2 games, is that right?
Indeed. The first 2 games.
Okay. Nice. I've never played the second one, but I'm planning to.
It's good.
Yeah. That's cool.
I thought that was a cool little piece, because that news came out yesterday. I was like, oh my god, this is so exciting.
No, I do like those games a lot. I will be watching that for sure.
Good.
Right, let us move on. Let us move on now to the main event.
Shite movies.
How dare you? We will get into it.
I know Sean will probably hate this because of his opinions on Blade Runner.
Oh yeah,
just because of the Ryan Gosling connection.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that's something we've not talked about.
Instant
is Sean's wrong opinion about Blade Runner 2.
Absolutely terrible opinion.
Why is it Attack Me night? What have I done?
Yes, it is.
Nobody's attacking you, Sean.
What have I done to deserve this?
I am. Right. Anyway, today, whenever you listen to this, we are watching Drive, 2011's Drive. So if you don't know, if this is your first time listening to the podcast,
we apologise.
Yes, if this is the first time listening to the podcast, I am so sorry. But also, this is a movie club. You are encouraged to watch along with the movies. We let you know the next movie we'll be watching at the end of the episode, and we mention it on social media and things like that. And so you are encouraged to watch along. So if you have not seen Drive, you're coming up on the end of where you can listen to. You should head to Amazon Prime immediately. This was available for free as of 2 days ago when we were recording this, but is not anymore. But you can rent it for 99p, which honestly, pretty good deal. Pretty good deal for a very good movie.
Actually is, because most of the stuff on Amazon Prime's like £3-4. Five.
No, totally, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
good.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll stay like that, but it is a very, very good film. Because there's information on it. It was released in 2011. It was directed by Nicolas Winding Refn. This became his biggest movie, but before that, he was most known for the Tom Hardy film Bronson.
Oh, Bronson.
Yeah. It's written by Hossein Amini. I don't know if that's pronounced right, but it's close enough. And it's based on the book by James Salas. And it stars a hell of a cast. Ryan Gosling, Carey Mulligan, Bryan Cranston, Albert Brooks, Oscar Isaac, Christina Hendricks, and Ron Perlman.
Holy shit.
What a cast.
And now that you've said it's based on a book, that'll be why it's good.
Yeah, totally. Score by Cliff Martinez as well. And this is an interesting film. Sean, you'll be interested to know. We'll talk about this a bit more afterwards, but this film heavily inspired several video games. Which is interesting.
Gran Turismo, Fast and Furious.
I've got a funny feeling you're going to say
Hot
the Driver
Wheels.
series.
No.
The Hot Wheels.
No, it was
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Shut up.
Driving lessons on the Game Boy.
Shut up. No, it was. You just mentioned the driver games. It was, I think, partially inspired by those games, but not very directly. But
I'm going to guess the Stuntman series.
No. The makers of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Rockstar North.
Yes, yeah. They said when this game was coming out that it was heavily inspired by this and Heat. Which,
holy shit!
If you haven't seen Heat.
There's a game called Heat. There is a game called Heat.
The movie Heat, with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. Which, if you guys haven't seen yet, we should watch that on this because that is an incredible film. Heavily inspired by that, so much so that in Grand Theft Auto 5, you can actually drive the car from this film and wear Ryan Gosling's jacket.
What car is it?
Cool.
I
can't remember. You might recognize it when you see it, but
yeah, because I played just before we started recording this podcast. I was sitting playing Grand Theft Auto 5.
No, we were okay, cool.
I was just like, I'll just jump on here and mess about for a couple hours.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, cool.
Yes, this heavily inspired that, and also bits of the Watch Dogs games as well.
Yes.
Which is cool. So we will be getting into that now. Yes, if you have not seen it yet, head to Amazon Prime, rent it for 99p if it's still there, and come back to us. We're going to head off and watch this now. Just to recap as well, I have seen this movie. I love this movie. These two have not seen this movie.
Nope.
I don't like Ryan Gosling, but we'll see.
You will.
I'm joking.
This is the movie that made me like Ryan Gosling. So
I do like Ryan Gosling for the record.
Cool. We're going to watch Drive. Let's do this.
Vroom vroom.
Let's go.
Vroom vroom.
If I drive for you, you give me a time and a place. I give you a 5-minute window. Anything happens in that 5 minutes and I'm yours, no matter what. I don't sit in while you're running it down. I don't carry a gun. I drive.
So you just moved to LA?
No, I've been here for a while.
What do you do?
I drive for movies.
Is that dangerous?
It's only part-time.
You put this kid behind the wheel. There's nothing he can't do.
Kid, I want you to meet Mr. Bernie Rose.
My hands are a little dirty.
So am I.
My husband's coming home.
Where is he?
He's in prison.
There's some guys that want me to do a job for them, and I'm not gonna do it.
What is that you got there? One of those men gave you that? What's the job? When you get your money, his debt's paid. You never go near his family again.
And a real hero.
Jake,
What?
Hello welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back. We have just watched Drive. We've just listened to a whole lot of Kavinsky on that soundtrack.
Yeah. Was that them the whole time?
I think so. I think all the sort of synth pop
all the tunes
are them.
I really like that.
We'll talk a little bit about the soundtrack later on. There's some interesting things with that. Hello, welcome back to the Sort of Movie Club. We have just watched the movie Drive.
We have.
Now, hopefully, you have also watched the movie Drive. But if you've not watched the movie Drive, the spoiler alarm is sounding. It's time. This is your final warning. This is your final warning. Spoilers. Spoilers are many after this point. So, yes, this is your final warning. If you've not seen the movie, this is your final chance. After this point, we're going full spoilers. Right. So, as two people that have not seen this movie before, initial impressions. What did you think? I'm going to start with. I've just realized that your cameras have switched around. Earlier on, you two were opposite sides to each other.
No.
That's weird. I'm going to start with Alec. How did you feel?
Loved it. Yeah, it was class. I really liked it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got a different vibe to movies that we've watched so far, I think.
A very different vibe, holy shit.
Definitely got that kind of indie, like really high quality indie movie kind of vibe about it.
Yeah.
Not too much dialogue either. Yeah. No, I liked it. I like it when a movie can like take you through a plot but not have to like talk too much about it or explain too much about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I enjoy that.
Good. Sean, what about you?
I very much enjoyed that. The pacing was good because it was like one gear right up until like the very last like 20 or so minutes, and then it just went full speed.
Yeah.
I loved that. I adored this movie.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that brutal either, so it was good.
That caught me off guard.
This is the thing with this movie is it was marketed very much as like a Ryan Gosling getaway driver action movie.
Yeah.
And the way the film opens, even like, you know, like that really tense, like stealth car chase, and you know, and all the marketing's Ryan Gosling in his jacket standing in front of the car in LA at night, and it just like it looks like a kind of action movie, and it definitely has that about it. But
it's totally not that
for like a solid 45 minutes to an hour in the middle. It's just like a relationship drama, you know?
Yeah.
Like, kinda, so it slows down a lot, but it really makes that work. And then second half is explosively violent.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty full on.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Gonna give a quick rundown of the plot?
Yes, so let's quickly run through it. Ryan Gosling plays Driver. He has no actual name.
Driver.
He's just called Driver. He is a stuntman by day and a getaway driver by night. He is like a very, very professional stunt driver, but I was going to say getaway driver, where he like gives them this like, you have 5 minutes, I will help you in these 5 minutes, but anything outside of that, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And it opens with this incredible, as I said, stealth chase sequence.
Yeah.
Where he's helping these two robbers who's robbing this place, and he's driving through, and he's like using the shadows of the street to kind of hide from the police, and he's, you know, and all this stuff, and it great, you know, he's timing it to the baseball game he's just listening to on the radio. Good. And then just steps out the car, puts on a baseball cap, and just walks through the crowd, and just
that jacket switch was like
smooth as fuck.
So good. He even walks right past the police car.
Walks into a police officer, and he does like a wee sidestep. Because it's like a criminal would never do that, would they? That's why he was doing that.
He just doesn't give a fuck. Ryan Gosling is unbelievably cool in this movie. Like,
he is.
I kept comparing him to that kind of like James Dean sort of smooth, the kind of dark suave, don't like fuck James with me type attitude.
James Dean, Steve McQueen, like Alec was saying, like old sort of older classic Hollywood actors.
Yeah,
and, like,
totally.
He's definitely got that.
He's got the face for it, and he's got the bone structure there. You can see why he's made it good in Hollywood.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the opening of the movie, and then we get into a little more information about him. Yes, he's a stunt driver. He has his friend Shannon, who is someone he works with, played by Bryan Cranston, who is kind of his agent on the stunt stuff, but he also runs the garage that he works at. He's kind of like a wheeler dealer kind of businessman.
Yeah,
guy.
he's also kind of involved in the like the kind of dodgy stuff he gets up to. He kind of knows.
Yeah, like he's involved in like all the kind of different worlds, and Bryan Cranston's great in this.
Yeah,
as always. We meet Irene, who is a driver's neighbor, played by Carey Mulligan, who they quickly kind of form a friendship and a sort of start of a relationship. They clearly like each other, and there's lots of just really sweet scenes of like awkward silences between them that they both play really well.
Yeah.
You get them taking her and her kid Benicio on like drives through the those things you see in movies all the time, the LA kind of sewer system almost. But it's like these kind of massive.
Yeah, they're like storm drains.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
It's like the same thing in Terminator Judgment Day.
Yes, exactly the same thing. Yes.
Oh, what
when Big Arnie's going in the Harley and all that. Classic.
Yeah. Their relationship kind of forms, but we get hints of in the background. There is Oscar Isaac's character, which is Carey Mulligan's husband, who is a criminal. He is in jail at the start of the film, but we are told he's getting out soon. There's also in the background of all this, there is the sort of mob plot line with Ron Pearlman, Hellboy himself, and Albert Brooks, which I don't know if you guys noticed from The Voice, best known for playing Marlin in Finding Nemo.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh my God.
Yeah, you hear his voice, it's like, that's just Marlin.
I thought I recognised that voice.
But like,
is that the guy that's pure brutal?
He kills Bryan Cranston at the end.
Right, yeah. Oh, wow, yeah, I didn't even add that up. I can't Yeah. I can't even remember his voice. Yeah, I'd have to watch it,
Yeah, it's quite weird once you know that. Bryan Cranston's kind of working with them. They're trying to get a kind of racing career going off of the ground for Driver, for him to get out with the kind of getaway driver stuff. And then Oscar Isaac gets out of jail, but he owes a lot of money to people in jail, sort of protection money. It's never said. I think the protection money is for his family, basically.
Yeah.
He was paying to have them kind of protected, but
right, yeah, I see.
Now he owes them. I think it said 20,000.
Yeah, he was saying like
the price kept going
first
up.
It was 2,000, then it was 5,000, then it was 10,000, it was 20,000.
Yeah, totally.
It was basically just bullying him at that point.
Yeah. And they're trying to get him to do a job to kind of pay that money back, stealing from this pawn shop in LA. And Ryan Gosling agrees to help him with the job, but it goes horribly wrong because the job was a setup to kill Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac is killed. There's Christina Hendricks' character as well. God, the cast of this is just amazing.
They just fucking eliminated like two of like brilliant actors like within the space of like 10 minutes.
That's the thing, though. We think
Hendricks,
Oscar Isaac as like a big star now, but back then he probably was just like an expendable dude. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this was very much just kind of a breakout role for Oscar Isaac. Like Christina Hendricks was already on.
So just to cover something, so why was he killed as a setup?
That's a good question. Actually,
I don't think it's
not
fully
really
explained.
said. What's quite interesting about this film is that you're seeing it very much from Ryan Gosling's perspective, and like he doesn't know all the details because he doesn't need to know and he doesn't want to know. So you're just aware of all of this mafia stuff going on in the background. Even like Ron Perlman mentions the family and things like that, but they're never shown.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
is it ever mentioned why Oscar Wilde was in jail?
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Wilde. Fuck. I'm so fucking tired, man. Oscar Isaac.
No, it's not said specifically. Not that I can remember. He's. I think part of the implication is like because they come to him to do a robbery job that he did something to do with that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason why.
As soon as I saw Oscar Isaac in this movie, like the way his character was, I was like, he gonna die. He gonna die.
Yeah.
He gonna die. I was surprised
for 5 seconds, and we're like, he's getting shot.
I was surprised that he kind of formed a friendship with Driver, to be honest, because they kind of did, didn't they? Like they kind of formed a wee kind of friendship. Because I thought they were just gonna be like out to get each other because he was getting his girl.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my God, that friendship is one of the best fucking parts of this movie because you can sort of see the resentment that he has against Driver. Like, you can see that he's like, I don't think I can trust you, but I need to trust you for
to do the
helping
job.
me.
Totally.
Oh,
I know. Like he knows that the driver wants his wife, basically.
Yes. So Oscar Isaac's character is killed. Oscar Isaac's character called Standard, and he is killed.
Yeah, Standard Gabrielle.
Yeah, there's just a joke about that in the
Standard. Where's the deluxe version?
That's the joke. Well done.
I just stole the joke.
He is killed then while hiding in a hotel with the money. Other gangsters show up and kill Christina Hendricks and try and kill Ryan Gosling, but he dispatches them like a badass. And then
so good. I did not realize like that headshot just turned this movie.
That was brutal.
That was like, it's this kind of movie. It's going Tarantino. Like,
yeah, it suddenly flips.
Because I really like Christina Hendricks as an actress, but holy fuck, you just fucking
I know. It's
explosion.
And then just incredible. So, like the entire fight plays out in slow motion, and he's like blocked the door, and you can see someone trying to get in, and he's like, okay, I have to kill this other guy and get his gun before this other guy gets into the room, and it's just it's so well done.
Do you think it's disconcerting a bit for the actors, like when they see themselves getting their fucking head blown off?
And
it looks that real. Because see, if I was an actor and I just fucking I was at the premiere and I just watched my head just fucking explode, I would literally be like, "Welp."
No, totally.
I'm curious to see if there's any articles on that. I might look that up later. What's it like watching yourself die on screen?
Yes, and then from there we find out that it was the Ron Perlman, Albert Brooks mafia mob group that were involved in all this and kind of set all this up. And Ryan Gosling goes on a rampage, killing everyone involved, and ends up killing a sort of hitman sent to kill him in front of Carey Mulligan very brutally. We'll get into that probably in a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty full on. And he kills Albert Brooks, he kills Ron Perlman, Albert Brooks stabs him, and then you think he's dying, but then he drives off into the night.
He lives.
He does.
To drive another day.
Yes.
So do you think he goes off to get her, or do you think he's just going? He said he's not coming back, didn't he? So I don't think he is.
Yeah, it's hard to say because if it almost feels like he thinks he's going to die when he says that. So that's partially what he's saying, I guess. But like,
he might still be dying. He might still be dying. He's just driving.
He could still be. It's a very deliberately ambiguous ending. Like he could die. He could go back for her. He could just leave. You know, like it's.
I think it's one of those audience
open.
interpretational endings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he should die.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Do you know what I kind of mean though? Do you know what I mean? Like he's not really
fuck you, Ryan Gosling.
Like he's not really a good guy, is he? He'd probably prefer to die if he's been through all that shit and he's seen all that and he's done all that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I mean, do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
This is one of the interesting things about this movie is the kind of morals of that character.
Yeah.
And it again very much leaves it up to you. Where like he's clearly a nice guy, like you know he's great with the kids.
Oh yeah, he's lovely.
Yeah, he's
up
like
until he puts that mask on.
That's the thing. God, is throughout the movie, first half included, you get these little hints of a real kind of dark, almost like psychotic undercurrent to him.
Yeah, he's a total psycho.
Yeah,
he enjoys killing those people. Like he enjoys it. Like.
Yeah,
you can tell Daniel enjoys that, yeah.
Yeah, like in the opening chase, he's so kind of calculating and cold and he just doesn't care. And part of it is just he's very cool and suave, but also there's you kind of, in context, you get a sense of like, no, he's way too kind of cold. And
totally. Yeah, normal people aren't that cool. Cool.
Normal people aren't that cool.
No, it's true though.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just a great phrase.
I always feel like the first real hint of it is when Carey Mulligan says that her husband's getting out of jail, and there is a moment where it focuses on Ryan Gosling's eyes, and there's just you don't really know what's going on in his head, but there is just a lot in his eyes, and he's just like.
I think
the music kind of low drone.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the low drones, or like in the close-ups to his face, happened a few times before he kind of snapped. Like the first kind of bit where he properly snaps is when he's just like chilling at the bar and that guy comes up to him and asks him to do another job.
Oh, that's straight.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he
yeah.
just pure snaps at him, a pure belter.
yeah, it's
All
good.
right, Dick.
I think he's obviously kind of being like sitting there being introspective with his own thoughts, and then this guy comes over like, asking him to do another job, and he's like, mate.
Just interrupted.
Fuck off.
He's literally, what did he say? He's like,
Gosling
I'll like something with your throat.
I'll kick your teeth down your throat or something like that. Yeah,
brutal.
Yeah, and what I love about it as well is that just before that, like the reason why he's so kind of pent up in that scene is just before that, he's had that first conversation with Oscar Isaac's character where like,
in the hallway.
In the hallway where they're having, like as Sean described it, a cool off where they're both just trying to seem cooler than the other. But Ryan Gosling is infinitely cooler. He's just standing smiling at him. And like,
I know, that's the thing. Like us three throughout this whole movie, we're like, oh, I want to be like as cool as Ryan Gosling, and then it's like, and then throughout the movie, you're like, I do not want to be like this guy. Like this is not.
I don't want to
okay.
be a psychopath.
I know, but it's very good. And yeah, I just love that, like in the way he plays that, where he's just so suave and cool and like don't give a fuck, but it's clearly bugging him. And when he's in that bar and that guy comes up to him, that guy just gets the full force of it, you know.
I think still one of my favourite bits in the whole movie is when he first meets Oscar Isaac's character, and then his standard is kind of just try to have a square off, kind of being like, don't touch my wife kind of thing. And he's literally just like smiling as the kid walks by and all that. He's just absolutely gives none whatsoever, man.
I love that film sequence.
He's like, you do the stunts for the movies, and he's like, yep. And that's his only line in the scene. He's like, yep.
It's absolute genius. Like marketing his character is. He's clearly a psycho. It's like it builds so well on how he's just a complete fucking psychopathic, yes, but like there's another word for it where it's like he's like playing mental games with this person. He just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because is it
narcissism?
See with the mask thing, right? Like he's used that before.
Oh yeah.
To kill people. Like I do not think that is the first time he has whapped out that mask to terrify somebody. No, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that is a sign, and there's no reason for him to hide his face because he's already shown his face, and they all know who he is. So his only intention is to like fuck people up in their head with that mask. Do you know what I mean? To creep them out.
Yeah, and I think you get a sense of that, like the scene where Christina Hendricks is killed, and just how efficiently he takes out those two guys. He throws the shower thing down and stabs him, and then just spins around and shoots the other guy.
There was no effort in those killings.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I know.
I'm kind of surprised that the mafia guy stabbed him at the end, to be honest.
I know.
I was a surprise.
Yeah. I think there's definitely some kind of deliberate irony at the end with the song. It's like a real human being, real hero, and it's a deliberate kind of like, is he though? This guy's a lunatic.
What if he is Michael Myers? What if he does drive off and just become Michael Myers? Like, where are those movies set?
Oh God, I don't know.
The Michael Myers ones?
Yeah.
Haddonfield, but I don't know where that is. Hang on, I'll check.
I don't know.
How far away is it? Maybe he just drives
New Jersey,
there.
I think.
New Jersey, yeah.
He's driving to New Jersey. That's where he's going. That's where he's going. I've got the plot.
Illinois.
He's going to Illinois to fulfill his Michael Myers destiny.
Yeah, that's a thing that we were talking about. Is like the scene where he kills Ron Perlman, which amazing scene. But yeah, the film turns into a horror film suddenly, where he's totally fucking terrifying. Like
it's when he's like the car's crashed at the bottom of the hill, and he's just like standing at the top with a mask on, and it's just like
such a Michael Myers pose as well.
There's something terrifying about just him standing there, isn't it? Like villains like that. It's absolutely petrifying. Like
absolutely.
The stuff that keeps you awake at night, innit? You like think you open up your. Honestly, every time I open up my window for some reason, I always like imagine a fucking guy standing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why, but
what the fuck?
I want to sleep tonight, please.
Yeah, no, it's it's interesting as well, just because like, yeah, this guy is clearly to some extent unhinged. Like he has issues, clearly this pent up dark side on like
Speaking of psychopath movies,
like he has this kind of this bubbling rage underneath everything, but at the same time, you're on his side. Like everyone he kills is just like, you're like, yeah, like fair enough. You know? Like
it's an interesting dynamic between like driver and the audience, because you're like, he is a guy that you want to root for because he's killing these people for a reason, but he's also killing these people brutally. So you're like,
yeah, no, like he doesn't just quickly kill them. Like the scene in the elevator, which is probably my favorite moment in the film. I just like this like one slow-mo shot where like he realizes that this guy has been sent to kill him.
Yeah.
And just like the thought process going on in his head is just like, okay, I now have to kill this guy. She's going to see this. So he just turns around and like, there's this kind of kiss moment. It's the first time they've kissed. And like, and it's just like, you're going to hate me in 30 seconds time. So I'm just going to one last moment of, you know, like, and it's, beautiful shot where like the lighting even goes quite unnatural.
Yeah, that's mental.
Like
I love that.
that was a beautiful shot.
It became really like theatrical, you know, and like stage lights kind of move off and kind of like theatre, like it's like on a play or something. Like
it's quite theatrical lighting for sure. And then it just, boom, he just fucking destroys the guy by stamping on his head repeatedly until it caves in.
Does that way too easy, man.
I know.
It's like scarily easily. I don't even think he's wearing necessarily heavy shoes either. I think he's got sneaks on, man. Do you know what I mean? Like he did that with Vans. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, he's putting some force out of those kicks. That man's skull is now it's shattered.
That guy didn't have a chance, man.
That's very much the moment where you realize that this guy is not completely hinged. I was trying to say unhinged, but like it was like coming at it from the other way. He's not hinged. He just goes way, like the guy's dead several kicks before he stops.
Oh, and he he keeps going. Like he goes on for a good 10 seconds too long.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable as well.
I know, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch because I think you watch it from her perspective as well. In that scene.
Yeah, because you don't see him actually stamping on it. You don't see any of the shots of the head when he's like,
oh, you do? You do?
You see one flash.
Yeah, right at the start.
I must have looked away. I was like, oh.
That's what I'm saying. You see at the start and then after that.
It's one of those great uses of sound design as well, where like...
Oh, the sound design in this movie. Just as a quick side note, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, the car sounds are awesome.
Yeah, because like, you know, you go through that whole scene and you see one flash of him kicking his head at the start and you see one flash of it caving in later, but you really don't see much detail, but you feel like you have because of the sound.
Your imagination just goes mental.
The overall like score and like music in this movie is quite minimal. Like, I mean, like the kind of, you have obviously the synth pop songs like throughout it, but like the actual score in that is like quite, like I like it when movies don't overplay it. Do you know what I mean? There's like a lot of silence and then you get the kind of low drone, but there's not like there's like a big orchestral score or anything, which is cool.
I'm a big fan of low drones.
Yes. Let's talk about the score briefly, because there's some interesting things with this. Where like, so this film, its score became very famous just because it was like really interesting using music, like you say, and like the kind of synth pop thing is very cool, and this kind of
it's got a very LA vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally. I think I actually have the soundtrack on vinyl downstairs.
Oh, nice.
And it's it's an amazing soundtrack, and an interesting thing happened where like hugely influential soundtrack, and the music is so linked to scenes in that film. The BBC radio presenter Zane Lowe.
I know Zane.
He did an experiment, and it's quite an interesting idea. I don't think it's fully successful, but he tried a thing where that's one of his favorite movies, and he took the movie and re-soundtracked it. So he worked with Nicolas Winding Refn, the director, and like he just like picked different songs for every scene where there's a song playing.
Okay.
Just to see how that affected the movie, and it was released. You can actually watch that version. Alec, you actually when we were looking on Amazon Prime, you spotted the BBC Radio 1 version or something like that.
So that version's free.
I think so, yeah. But
You bastard! You made us pay 99p.
I know.
For a different set of songs. You fucker.
I know. But the soundtrack is quite important in the
you've got to hear what the director
Yeah,
wants,
yeah.
not some radio presenter.
But it's an interesting experiment. I don't think it's fully successful. There's songs by like Bring Me the Horizon and things like that in it, and like it's quite it's a kind of more metal-y tinged version of the soundtrack, and it's an interesting experiment. I'd like to see someone do it with other movies, but
I thought you were going to say I'd like to see someone do it with better music.
I'm gonna have a look and see.
Yeah, it's interesting though. I like the idea of that.
Bring Me Horizon was on that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Fucking
what song is it?
It's Bring Me Horizon featuring Orifice Vulgarian. Don't Look Down.
Don't know it.
Don't know it either. I'm a Bring Me Horizon fan. I don't even know that.
Talking about good soundtracks though, as I was saying, like see that Suits that I'm watching. Honestly, it's got one of the best soundtracks ever. Like every 5 minutes you hear a tune and you're shazamming it. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of those.
I love when you
it's like it's like pure old school soul music and all that, but a lot of it's like really modern and stuff. So you find like really modern artists and stuff. It's class. It's so cool. Yeah.
I love it when there's a movie like that where you're just like, I need to know what this fucking song is.
Oh, dude, I've done it about 5 times.
Done
it about 5 times with that program. Found out a guy called Charles Brooks who's like this. Like you listen to his stuff and you'd have thought he was from like James Brown era, but he had like albums out in like 2011 and stuff.
Oh, totally.
He sadly passed away in 2017, but listen to his stuff. It's insane. Like it's so good. Charles Brooks. We recommendation.
There you go.
Nice. And as you were saying, Sean, the sound design in this is like the car chase scenes, which by the way, 2 of my favorite car chases of all time in this movie. I think they're both quite unusual. And the opening scene one is like I said, a stealth car chase, or it's quite an unusual thing.
Yeah, they're not. They're not usual car chases. They're
really,
quite different. Like they're not as fast paced.
Yeah, totally. And as I said earlier, this influenced video games, including Watch Dogs. And Sean, have you played the first Watch Dogs?
I've played all 3. Yes.
Cool. There is a mission in the first Watch Dogs where you essentially do that. Where you're doing a stealth car chase where you're kind of hiding in the shadows and avoiding police lights and things like that.
Oh my god, so there is.
Yeah,
that mission is an arse, by the way.
Yeah, it was like a tribute to the opening of this film, which is really cool.
Oh, it seems like this movie made quite an impact, eh?
It's a hugely influential film now. Like even we were talking about Baby Driver a lot because it's quite like this. That's not a mistake. Like this was an influence on Baby Driver as well.
Yeah, Baby Driver's class, isn't it?
Baby Driver's brilliant. Yeah,
so good. I kind of want to rewatch that at some point.
Throughout this whole movie, I was comparing like different parts of the movie to other movies and other like media, and I think I finally like understand it now. Like the influence that this movie had is a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah, no, totally. It's pretty huge.
We should watch Baby Driver to follow this up at some point. That'd be a great follow up movie to this.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
We were talking about Grand Theft Auto, and I legitimately recognized like all of the cars in this movie as like I own that car in the game.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's got that kind of sexy kind of vibe to it, doesn't it? The kind of
totally.
It's very sleek. I like it.
Let's talk about some of the actors because there's some great performances in this. First of all, what a god Ron Perlman is, man.
He's great.
Every movie he's in is just a treat. It's just a treat for your ears and your eyes. It's brilliant.
I love, like, he barely has a line where he doesn't swear in this film. It's like even like at the start, he asks Bryan Cranston, "How's your leg?" But he goes, "How's your fucking leg?" It's totally unnecessary.
Totally.
Ron Perlman is absolutely just a gift to mafia movies.
I don't think I've seen him in another movie other than Hellboy.
Have you seen Pacific Rim?
Yes, I've seen it. Yeah, so I've seen him in that. Is that it? Is that his career? Hellboy, Pacific Rim, and Driver. There we go.
No. He's in loads of things, but
he's in the Chronicles of Riddick. Yeah. That's where I first ever saw Ron Perlman.
So he is, yeah.
Where he tries to catch Vin Diesel and gets his ass kicked. It's
great. Are they movies not like totally pish though?
I like the animated one and the Chronicles. That's it. The other ones are kind of naff.
Yeah. What even are those movies about? Just topless Vin Diesel.
He's not even topless. He wears a tank top.
Tank top, same thing.
To sum them all up, there's 3 movies and 2 video games. To sum all of it up,
Yeah.
Vin Diesel is God. That's it.
Like, who does he play? What is the character? What is it?
So Riddick is he's an alien from another planet that's considered like a very aggressive and angry race. So they're really good at fighting things.
Is it set in Earth?
No, it's set on this kind of like fantasy mid galaxy,
Right. Okay.
where he's like the last of his kind. So, but he's like being chased by all these like bounty hunters and shit. It's actually a really interesting concept now that I'm explaining it out loud.
It sounds like something that would be cool if it wasn't Vin Diesel.
You're absolutely correct.
I don't mind Vin Diesel, but he's not the best.
No.
Vin Diesel. Hello, I'm Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
I just remember that one. I just remember that one babysitting movie that he did. You know that
Oh
one?
Christ, the pacifier.
Pacifier. I remember that being actually quite funny as a kid, but
It's not bad.
a funny
I've not watched it in
concept.
years, but
it sounds like a bit of like a Farrelly Brothers kind of concept on it.
just on an offset, the best piece of media from the Riddick universe is the video game Escape from Butcher Bay. It's just incredible.
How
It's
did we
a
get
horror
onto
game and an action game.
How did we get onto Riddick from Driver?
I was going to say, why are we talking? Let's get off of this.
I'm sorry.
How did that happen?
Oh, well, we're talking about
That is one of our best segues.
we're talking
yes,
about Ron Perlman now.
Ron Perlman, who is awesome in this. He doesn't get a lot to do, but he's just a ton of fun whenever he turns up.
Oh, he's great.
Bryan Cranston is great. He's really good at like I said earlier, it's like a kind of wheeler dealer character. He's quite like, he's always kind of trying to sort of negotiate for more money. And
one criticism I've got is one scene that kind of annoyed me a wee bit was when like it felt like Bryan Cranston had this kind of his big Bryan Cranston moment. You know, when he kind of goes a bit nuts and he's like really intense. Mm-hmm. And the scene kind of fades out really quick. Like, just, you hear his voice do that kind of intense Bryan Cranston thing, kind of shouty thing. Mm-hmm. But I felt like if it had been, and it just kind of, it faded out and you could still hear his voice, but you didn't see him, that kind of cut to the next scene. But I felt like if it had been like a more of a kind of close up, it would have done his character a wee bit more justice rather than kind of fading out. That's the one, honestly, that's the only criticism I have of this movie.
Interesting. I kind of interpreted that, I guess, as like, because it's cutting to the guy driving, I think he's meant to be remembering that conversation almost, but like, no, I get what
do you know what I mean? I just felt like that was like you paid for Bryan Cranston in your film and you're like, that's what he gives. Do you know what I mean? He gives you that full intensity. Yeah, totally. And I feel like it just wasn't captured in like, it could have been like more intense, I think.
I think my best Bryan Cranston moment in this, like acting wise, is the scene where the gangster kills him.
Yes.
Yeah. And like just that, like that whole scene, he's just, you can see in his eyes, like, this guy's gonna kill me. There's nothing I can do about this. He's just kind of like, just waiting for it almost, you know?
Yeah, he's got a gimpy leg and all that as well. He just knows he's done. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
He doesn't even try. Like,
he just accepts it when it happens. He's like,
the guy even says to him, didn't he? He's like, didn't he?
Yeah, I think I'm going to kill you, but I need you to tell me where you're
He doesn't say I'm going to kill you, but he says like, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
like, or something.
Basically
like
on the same lines. Like,
yeah.
Oh, it's kind of sad now. You think
that is honestly that is one of the most. That one hit me hard for like the brutality of it. I don't know why. Yeah. Like more than the headshot and stuff. It's just it sends kind of shivers up your spine because it's just like
it's so quick.
There's something. Because it's quick and there's something like quite. Every other death in this is like a brutal, like trying to survive kind of moment.
Yeah.
That is such a, like, the guy just slow, just like reaches over, cuts his arm, and just like, he's even going like in that guy's head, he's doing him a favor, just like it's fine, it's over, you'll be okay, I know.
It's like we say it's a quick death, but it's like really slow though to watch. Yeah, you know what I mean, you see the blade run up his arm, and he's like talking to him, and it's like, oh man, it's like sad. It's like a sad.
It's really sad.
One of Bryan Cranston's
also just
best
like
deaths.
because like, but yeah, that's the thing. He's that character called he's called Shannon. He's not hurting anybody. Like he's a bit
nice
of
guy.
a kind of he's a little bit of a sleazy businessman, but he's like he's trying to make his way.
He's just making his way through the world.
Yeah, I don't know if. So he said that he hired Driver, in that, and I'm wondering if like his connections is what got Driver into this kind of underworld kind of bit like life.
It seems to be.
So he's not all good, but I think he has decent intentions. Like
it seems to be. There's a scene where Albert Brooks' character, I can't remember his name now, talks to Driver about like how he met Shannon, and he talks about how Ron Perlman's character, like his crew, Nino, yes, kind of broke his pelvis when he tried to swindle them and things like that, which is why he walks the way he does.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. And I mentioned earlier the line where he's like, how's your fucking leg? That's why he asks that, which is quite sinister. But
is it him that did it?
I don't know if it's specifically him, but he like made it happen at least. Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I never made that connection.
It's a clever. I never noticed until this time. It's a clever bit of writing, just because he asks that, and it's kind of a funny line, and then later on, it's like, oh yeah, no, that's why he's asking that.
It's proper sinister. It's like, oh,
yeah,
you dick.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston's great in this. Carey Mulligan also great in this. Again, does not get that much to do. Like there's a lot of kind of quiet scenes with her, but
a lot
she's
of
very
she walks away to get a Coke with Oscar Isaac. That's a thing that happened in this movie.
yes, I suppose that's true.
The first time we see her, the mob guy's like, go get her a Coke. Because to speak to the guy.
Sorry, I just realized
you've got two actors confused.
You're thinking of Christina Hendricks. So
okay.
Carey Mulligan is Irene, the neighbor.
Facial acting.
Yeah. Christina Hendricks is also good in this, but a very, very small part.
Yeah, she doesn't say much, does she?
I'm surprisingly shocked at how little she had to do.
I know.
I was like, holy shit. She's like, her and Bryan Cranston are two massive actors.
Maybe that's another wee criticism I've got. Maybe they got away too easy.
You mean they get killed too quickly?
Like the family, like the kids and her. Like I think there could have been a wee bit more suspense on the consequences.
Possibly.
Maybe just to thinking it. You know what I mean? Because it felt like it was kind of building up to something happening there. Maybe like a wee hostage situation that you'd have to like break them from, or
I guess
that's probably quite predictable though.
Yeah, I think this movie's kind of trying to avoid more cliched things, and like he's. And I like the guy says, like, you, me, and your girlfriend are the only players left in this. So I think, after he kills that guy, it's like, right, no one knows about her. She can kind of just go about her life now. And yes, of course, Ryan Gosling. This is the movie. I don't know if it's the first thing I saw him in, but it's the movie that made me go like, "Fuck, you're good." He is incredible.
He seems to choose his movies really well. Like I don't think he's in anything that's cringy. Do you know what I mean? You get some actors that are great, but have been in cringy movies. Like a great example is like Matthew McConaughey. Like he started off in rom-coms to make a name for himself, and then he's boom, Oscar wins like here, there, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
he's the best example of that.
Yeah, I can't think of a bad Ryan Gosling movie offhand, but there may be one.
I've not seen loads. The only things I can remember him in is really like Blade Runner. Like I've not really seen him in much else, to be honest.
I was gonna say I can name one.
Yes, the movie that Sean has the wrong opinion about. He's honestly incredible in Blade Runner.
I don't think he's bad in this. I'm talking about a different movie. I don't think he's necessarily bad in this movie, but I think it was a bad movie, which was La La Land. I did not like that movie.
I've seen the first 3 minutes of it, so I can't tell.
Okay.
Maybe that says something in itself.
To be fair, I don't think we can call that a bad movie. That is a very well liked film. Like fair enough.
I think you just have to like
controversial opinions.
I think you have to like those type of films. Is the problem with that? I think it's hard for somebody that's not into musicals and stuff to get into that kind of movie. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to have an opinion. Like,
I kind of like musicals. That's a lie. I fucking love a good musical. Like I've really enjoyed things like Chicago.
Do you like musicals, Jake?
Yeah. As a theater working person, yes, of course, I love every musical. I like a lot of music. I think musicals work better in theater where there's already a bit more suspension of disbelief. I struggle a little bit with film musicals.
Yeah, totally. 100% agree with you. If you're in the theater and you're going to see a musical, it's good. It's great fun. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole point.
Yeah.
But like when you are, film musicals is what get me. It just kind of feels like this would be better without them singing. Like,
no, totally.
Stop.
And there's definitely some good ones for sure. But
I don't mind The Greatest Showman. Honestly, I think it's quite good. But I don't. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. The music's terrible. But if you just break it down, it's like it's got Hugh Jackman in it, who I like. Do you know what I mean? I find it hard to not like something that Hugh Jackman is in.
Would you like to hear an oddly controversial opinion about a musical?
What's that?
Sure.
I really enjoyed Moulin Rouge.
I've never seen it.
I don't know if that's
I don't go out and see it.
That's a controversial opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm saying Greatest Showman's alright, but I'm not saying that I like it. I'm just saying, like, out of the musical ones that I've seen, you can tell it's well done, and I'd never watch it again. Do you know what I mean? But like,
yes,
I still haven't finished that movie.
But the music is shocking.
Oh my!
Yeah, I watched about 5 minutes of that movie and I had to turn it off. But anyway, So anyway, Ryan Gosling in this, he is amazing. He's an actor that's known for being very minimal, I guess is the word, where he's like he keeps everything very restrained, and it's I don't know. I think he's very good at that. But there's just he's a good eye actor. There's a lot going on in his eyes, and like especially like as again, it's like this is a less subtle example, but the scene where he breaks into the strip club to beat up the guy that gave him the job, where Oscar Isaac got killed, and he's just like shaking, and he looks just fucking deranged.
He knows how to act for cinema, don't he? Because it's such a different thing compared to like a lot of other mediums. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like if you're acting for a movie, like so many close up shots that like the acting that like the best acting is always very minimal, because the audience sees every wee thing that you do. You know what I mean? You're scrutinized, and it's like, as you see in like one of the last scenes when you kind of can't tell for a good like 30-40 seconds if he's dead or not.
He stayed still for so long.
That's what I'm saying. He's like so good.
What the fuck?
He's so in control of his own like face. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that shows like a really good sign of an actor. They're just like so in control. Every movement that he's making is so deliberate.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I just remembered you just in that scene. You're just going, "Are you alive?
Are you alive? Blink if you're alive." Just totally ruining the suspense.
just
imagine being in the cinema and just being that guy. Blink,
you're alive.
Blink once if you're alive.
Ryan, you all right, sir?
What a captain, son.
Just on another note, Ryan Gosling has like the best smolder in fucking Hollywood.
He really does.
It's so good.
I think that's me coming to the end of what I wanted to talk about. You guys got anything else?
No, I think we've kind of reached a good point.
Oh, cool.
Shall we do ratings?
We shall do our ratings. Alec, you first. How would you rate this movie?
Damn. What did I give Bad Times?
You gave.
Oh wait, we can't spoil it, or no, it's not spoiling.
It's out.
Yeah, cool. I thought it was out. What did I give Bad Times?
I don't remember what you gave.
You didn't score it quite that
8.5, I think. And
I'm going to start writing these down.
8.5. You gave it 8.6. Right.
I think that is correct. Yes, I could be wrong, but yes, I think so.
Oh no, was it? No, I think I gave less actually.
You didn't score it that high.
I didn't.
I remember.
No, I think I gave it a 7 or 7.5.
Maybe an 8, but yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think. No, you're right. You're right.
High.
Yeah, it might even been a 6.5. Oof, yeesh. Right. I would give this movie, since I can literally I can. There's only one scene that I can maybe fault, so I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
9.
Ooh,
okay, cool.
nice.
Fair enough.
Solid start.
It's also, sorry, just one thing to mention. It's definitely a movie that benefits from rewatches.
Oh yeah, because
just knowing where it's going, the first half becomes very suspenseful. And it's
nice.
Sean, what about you?
Right. I really do
Here
like
we
this
go.
movie.
Here we go.
But if I'm honest, Ryan Gosling in Blade Runner gives.
Shut up.
I'm about to give our first ever perfect score a 10 out of 10.
Damn.
Shit.
There is no flaw with this movie that I could pick out on my first view.
That's interesting.
I think this movie is fucking perfect.
Wow. Okay, that's our first. I need to get some kind of sound effect for that. We've not had that yet. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, that's our first 10.
Damn.
And it's also going to be our second 10.
Oh, damn!
Yes.
I'm kind of the same. I don't have any particular flaw with this movie. I think it's
it's just me with that one Bryan Cranston. I just think he got a dud deal. I think he poured his heart and soul into that shouting moment, into that scene, and I wanted a close up. Okay, I just wanted a close up.
I definitely like Ryan Gosling more in this than Blade Runner.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's kind of funny though, because in Blade Runner he's also got that kind of cool demeanor as well. So it's interesting
he
to
does
say that.
in a different way. He's a little bit less kind of swaggery in that, like he's
it's a bit more para.
Yes, that's all the word I was meant to say. That's cool. Yeah, no, cool. That is by far our highest scoring movie. That
29.
I was going to say 29 out of 30.
Sorry, lads, doesn't quite cut it for me.
I wonder if we'll ever find a perfect 30.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure.
Yeah,
it has to be a movie.
What movie would that
three
be?
of us.
Shrek 3.
Fuck off.
Shrek 2, mate.
Shrek 1.
Oh man.
Oh,
mate, the first. You cannot fault the first Shrek movie. Don't even go there. Soundtrack's banging. Come on. Animation's banging. Stories banging.
The first Shrek is a movie, that is true. Yes, it's fine.
I know what the perfect movie would be. I genuinely think I might know what it would be. It would be Empire.
Empire Strikes Back might be the thing that clinches it. That is true.
That's a 10.
For the three of us.
Easy.
That is a 10.
Yeah. For the three of us, I think.
Perfect movie.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Nah. If we get
now,
to be fair, if we rewatch it, we might not think so.
That's a good point,
that's
actually.
True. That's true.
Like we're saying it from the point of like not have watched it. So we
nostalgia.
Yeah.
But as of right now, this is our highest scoring movie. I think the next closest would be Parasite, which we were all in the kind of 9 or 9.5 camp.
Yeah.
Which is
We should get a wee leaderboard going.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to write down all the scores for sure. So yes, thank you for listening to that. If you want to send us your thoughts on Parasite, if you want to send us your thoughts on Parasite, you're a bit late, but we've done that already. Go back and listen to it. But anyway, yes, if you want to send us your thoughts on Drive, you can do, and please do. We were interested to hear them. You can get in touch at our email address, which is. Sorry, I've got a lot of alcohol in my system. It's just saltrivermovieclub@gmail.com, or on our Facebook page, which is Salt River Pictures, or Instagram, which is Salt River Pictures Official. So please do get in touch and let us know what you think. What would be your score for this movie? Are you a 10 like me and Sean? Sounds like I'm saying I'm like a
Are you a 10?
Are you a 10 like me and Sean?
Hey! That was adorable.
Alex and 9.
I'm sorry, it's the Bryan Cranston attitude.
Oh yeah,
mate. If I'm holding a Bryan Cranston attitude, you two don't stand a chance, man.
I'll just smolder at you like Ryan Gosling.
Please get in touch with us at any of those places I mentioned. You can listen to this on any podcast. You listen to our podcast on any podcast service that you may use. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Podbean, all those things.
A whole lot.
Rate us. Yes, please subscribe and rate us on all those things. You can also listen on our YouTube channel, which is also Salt River Pictures. which we are available there, and our music videos and things like that are up there as well.
Yep.
You also check out our band. I never plug the band that we're in, but check out our band as well. We are Salt River Shakedown.
We don't suck.
We don't know. We're actually okay.
Yep. We have been played on the BBC, so approved much.
Yeah.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Honey is out now.
Honey is out. It's been out for a few weeks by the time you hear this. And so please check out our band as well. But yes, check out our podcast. And so next episode, we're back to Oscar Quest.
Oscar Quest.
It's been a little while, but we're back into it. We're going into the 2019 Oscars, and we are covering Green Book, which should be an interesting one because there was definitely a little bit of controversy around that winning. So we shall get into that when we do.
The Oscar quests are good because we don't have to choose them.
Yeah, no, it makes things a bit easier. And then after that will be Sean.
Yeah.
Will it be Sean?
No.
Is that right?
No, I think it's
it'll be Alec. No, sorry, it'll be Alec. That's true.
Me.
Sorry, okay.
Alex next.
Alex is next.
This was your movie, then it's Alec, then it's me.
I think I know what I'm going to choose.
Yes, and
Don't tell us.
so please go watch Green Book, and I think that'll do it for what is our. By the way, just a quick side note: the 10th episode, the 10th main episode.
Yeah! 10th main episode. I think it's this will be the 15th overall.
Something like that. There will be probably a couple of Falcon Winter Soldier episodes by 10th
anniversary
special. But in terms of this is episode the named episode 10 on our feed, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yes, we are 10 years old.
Oh my god.
So yes, please do get in touch. Please listen to our podcast. Please watch Green Book. Let us know what you think.
What services is it on? You know?
Green Book, I believe we're going to watch it on Amazon. It is unfortunately a rental only at the moment, unless it changes, because they seem to change things a lot at the moment. But it's not too expensive. I think it's only about £3.50 or something like that.
Okay.
Sweet baby Jesus.
It is worth that, I think. It is a good movie. It's just maybe not necessarily a Best Picture winner for me.
Green Book, it is £3.49.
£3.49. There you go. 1 penny less than I said. There you go.
Try to swindle the audience for a penny, you fucking crook.
For God's sake.
Yes, we'll be getting to that in 2 weeks' time from this episode. And I think that does us for now.
Sexy.
And to end our episode, I will quote Ryan Gosling's character, Driver. Goodbye.
Hello there.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Stay on target.
This podcast is brought to you by Salt River Pictures.